Hey, what's up, y'all? It's been a couple weeks since we have had real talk with ZSJ. Did y'all miss me? No. I was on vacation. Thank you very much. I deserve to take a break. I have a couple of full-time jobs, and this is a wonderful hobby for me. So anyway, I appreciate the viewers and everything. So make sure y'all like and subscribe if you have not subscribed. And share this video if you are watching. Yeah, I'm excited to have my brother and friend Matt. Um, it's been a minute. I feel like we are way overdue. I said that to you
Absolutely.
earlier. Like I should have been had you on here to talk about your amazing work. But Matt is the founder of the Black Fatherhood Foundation, right?
Yes.
Right. And I came to actually know you really well through social media. I was actually in initially before you kicked all the women out. We're gonna talk about that. I was actually I
Oh
was actually
man.
a part I was actually a part of your Facebook group for Black fathers. But I'm like, because I'm supportive. I love my Black
Yes.
fathers. I love Black men, period. I mean, you know that. So, I was always supportive. I wasn't, one of those sisters in there like, y'all need to do this. I wasn't doing all that. But anyway, you just blew up though. Like that group, like just blew up. My husband is a part of the group. Like I know other brothers that are a part of the group. It's amazing, and you actually got the attention of Facebook. Tell us first of all, introduce yourself, and also tell us all about like how that whole Facebook thing went.
Absolutely. First, I'm honored to be here with you. I respect and admire you greatly and definitely consider you a friend as well. And we are long overdue for this for sure. So I'm happy
Definitely.
to be here. Unfortunately, I'm not, as people say, I'm not my best self today. I'm dealing with they told me I tested positive for COVID, so
Yeah.
I'm a little
I'm glad you
short winded.
came.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
little short winded. I'm finding out, but I'm really again I'm happy to be here. So and I don't have, as I said, I don't have the best lighting, so I almost feel like
It's
doing
all good,
I
brother.
feel like
You
I'm
look
doing a
good.
seance or something. Like I'm looking.
So silly.
So I hope the people forgive me for this
It's all
presentation.
good.
But I am a husband to my wife Kelly of so
Shout
very
out to
many
Kelly.
years. 15 years, yes. And it's funny that you mentioned that about being kicked out of the group because Kelly will not let me live that down. Every opportunity she gets, she
She
lets people
shouldn't.
know that she was pissed off that she got pushed out of the group.
See, now I feel better. You even kicked your
Yes,
own wife out.
you are in good company. You are definitely in good company. And I mentioned that yesterday. To I was talking to someone from Facebook, and they asked me about a fun fact about the group. I said, well, it's not really a fun fact, but it's an interesting fact that a lot of people talk about that we actually did. Yes, we started out as a public group with women in the group, and then it came to the point where it was too many that were doing that. No, what y'all need to
You know
do
what
is,
y'all need to
yeah,
do, yeah.
exactly. And the post would be like, fellas, what about this? And then a woman would come and say, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, but that was not for you. That
That's
was just
not
for the
for
men.
you,
So
right?
we had to do what we had to do, unfortunately, unfortunately to a degree, because that really did enable us, like, not to say that
To be
women were,
free.
yeah,
No, I
exactly.
understand. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And that allowed it to become exactly what it is today, where it's a space where men can totally and completely be free, as you said, and feel safe and secure and vulnerable and transparent and talk about real stuff. As we talking real talk, it's a lot of real talk, and it's stuff that oftentimes we as men don't talk about. Like when we out with our homies and stuff like that, we don't really
Mhm.
get that deep and that transparent because we fear the judgment, even from our good friends, even from our blood relatives. We fear the
Mhm.
judgment. So we got a place where we can go and we can really feel like, even if that judgment is there, we check people on it because we've created a culture where people know that this stuff is not acceptable. So people gonna check you on it. And that's
Period.
what I love about it. And it's not just
Yeah.
it's not just the admin, it's members who are like, nah, we don't play that shit here. We're not having it. So
Right.
you can kick rocks with all of that. We here to support each other. The world beats us down enough as black men. We don't need
Right.
to come to this place and beat each other down as well. So
Right.
that's what the group is
That's
about. I'm a father of four. I have my oldest is 22. I have a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a soon to be 15-year-old. So
wow.
yeah, definitely got
You
my
was
hands full.
fruitful and multiplied, as my
Yeah,
granny would
I
say.
multiplied quickly. My oldest two are 17 months apart, so I didn't waste too much time.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So tell us about how I want to know all like how you got like tell me about like this Facebook thing that you're a part of. Like I know like because I
Sure.
saw you when you went out there. I'm like, oh look at
Yes,
my boy. Oh
yes.
shit. Tell me about it.
So what happened? So I started the group in 2008, and we've been
Hmm.
running. We're about to celebrate our 13th anniversary. We're one of the oldest groups on Facebook, still running. About to be 13 years old. We can ready to be off the clock, shorty. But so for the first, I would say about 5 years, it was really just a slow and steady grind. And honestly, a couple of times I just wanted to say forget it because
Yeah.
at this time people didn't necessarily understand the value of it. For a long time, people didn't understand the value of it. And we didn't hold the same value for fathers as we do now, particularly black men. We didn't hold that value. And even some of my coworkers and people who I considered friends and all of that, when I would tell them about the group and I would tell them about the work they were doing, they'd be like, oh, that's nice. And, keep it moving. It wasn't like, oh, Matt, I'm proud of you or anything like that. It wasn't what it is today. So it was sort of a struggle to really get people to buy in because a lot of times we as black people, we got to see the train rolling down the track. We got to see the plane in the air, and then we're like, oh damn, I should have got a ticket. We don't want to jump on when it's at the station. We want to see it going and know that it's actually producing something before we want to be a part of it. So I pushed for the first 5 years, and then somehow I don't know what it was, but someone no, I won't even say someone, Brittany Darwell from Facebook reached out to me and asked me that I want to do an interview. At the time they had something going called Facebook Stories. It was a page, and they were reaching out to different people who I guess they felt were interesting. I don't know if they all ran groups, but they just had an interesting story they wanted to share. So the way that it happened, and actually it's funny, I tell people that like I kind of brushed her off for like a month because I just wasn't sure about it. And then I hit her back up. I'll never forget. I was driving from my mother's house in Canton in Baltimore, and I called her and I was like, "Is it too late?" And she said, "Nah, it's not too late." So what happened? She interviewed me and she told me that it would be a write up, and you get to see it and edit it, and we'll put it out as if you just completely wrote it yourself, right? And it'll go on the stories page. And so we did that, and it actually came out on the stories page and in the Huntington Post in two places on the same day. So
I remember seeing
yeah,
it. I was like, oh my God,
yeah, it was
I
crazy. Yeah, so we were good news, and I think it was called Black Voices. I think it was on there.
know
So
him.
in two spots on the same day. So that might have made some history. I don't know who else got in two spots in the Huntington Post on the same day, but so that was really the start of it when she did that write up and that came out. And then they sent people to my house to do a video that
Wow.
was, yeah, but check this out, it was internal to Facebook employees only. So I could never share that with people. I never got to tell people. Only people that really got to see it was my wife and, hold up, is that NDA still valid? All right, so the only people that got to see it was my wife, maybe a couple other people, but like I couldn't put it on social media or anything. And
Right.
then so the next year they contacted me and they said, well, we want to update the story right before Father's Day comes out, and we want to do a video that we're going to share out with the world. So that one, you've probably seen that one. We had hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of
I
views on
did
that
see that
video.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I shared it. Yeah.
yeah. So that's the one they put out. And then from there, Facebook really was a machine. They were really like a PR machine really connected me with people for interviews. We did Yahoo Parenting. The Yahoo Parenting one was the one that really, really put us on the map. Like,
Yeah.
we blew up when that Yahoo Parenting came out. And it was surprising because there were people, like, there were men who were joining the group and they were like, I saw this on Yahoo Parenting. I'm like, I didn't even know people even looked at Yahoo Parenting.
Yahoo Parenting. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing like that, but a lot of people saw that article. And when that came out, like, people told me DL Hughley had mentioned it on the show, and Ricky Smiley
Oh.
said something about it on the show. So that really set us on the trajectory that we've been on to really blow up like this.
Yeah. And it's all deserving. And like a part of why I actually wanted to bring you on, you and I had a couple of goals at this because we were actually supposed to do it before Father's Day
Yeah.
week, and then we were gonna do it like right after, and then like both of us had some stuff come up, and then so now we're here tonight. But I just wanted to get you to share your thoughts about like what you felt right as a father that led you to create the group, like because you mentioned like there's not a lot of positivity particularly around Black fatherhood.
Right.
Like fatherhood just in general is just not on the same level as like Mother's Day and mothers and stuff like that, but Black fatherhood in particular tends to have a negative connotation, or have like a bunch of different negative stereotypes that's attached to it. Can you speak to that a little bit? Was that a part of some of your thought process when you created the group?
Absolutely. That was almost 100% of the thought process.
Right,
I At
right.
the time, I looked around, and the media, the publications that I was looking at, magazines and on the internet, there were so many things that said parents. And you look in something that says parent, and all you see is women. And and
Mm,
and and I got on my Michael Jordan. I took that personally, you know? I took that personally, and I was like, this is really like disrespectful. And it reminds me, I watched I don't know if you've seen it, but Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. I watched that. I
yeah, I
watched that
watched
twice.
that.
And the part,
Yeah,
you know, the part when he goes in and they're like, this is a group for moms. And he says, but it says parents, and I'm a parent.
exactly.
That was me. That was really
Yes,
me, because I looked at all this stuff that said parents, and it really pissed me off. I'm like, well, why aren't we represented? Not even white dads, not even Asian dads, let alone Black dads. And then on top of that, I looked around and I didn't have to look far. I see it every day how we are, misrepresented as Black men in this society. And so it was the combination of those two things, with fathers being treated the way that we were. Like, when you would see us, it was mostly we were portrayed as morons, and people, we hated when the wife would leave the house because we let the kids go crazy and we couldn't control them, and all of this sort of stuff. And you
yeah,
had these commercials where the mom comes back home and the kids have painted on the ceiling and all of that stuff. So I'm like, man, this stuff is crazy. We got to be able to represent for ourselves. Like,
exactly.
too many people are telling our stories and we aren't telling them for
Not
ourselves.
speaking for yourself, right?
Exactly. So that's what really propelled me. And I'm like, I know that we are more. I was married previously, right? And
Mhm.
my two sons came from my first marriage. Pardon me, because my dealing with this
It's okay.
COVID, my mouth
You're
getting all
good.
watery and
You're
everything.
good. You're
Sorry,
good.
but
Mhm.
I was married previously, and when my kids, my oldest two rather, sorry, were old enough, I would take them to the playground, and
Mhm.
my wife at the time, like, she would be sleep like Saturday mornings. I would just get up and I would take them out, and she'd still be in the bed sleeping, And people, of course, people do that dumb stuff like, are they all yours? And I know you got your hands full and all of that stuff. But there was one time in
Wow,
particular, yeah, of course, I was at the playground, and I'd be like, no, I just found them walking down the alley. They not mine, But
that's so stupid.
isn't
Yeah,
it so stupid? But these are the types of things we never do to mothers. We never say this kind of stuff to mothers. Who tells a mother, oh, you must really have your hands full? No, no, we
yeah,
don't do that. But so these are all the things you fight against. Going in the bathroom and in the men's bathroom,
That
have
part. I
a
went through
changing
that like
table.
with my husband, like because in the men's bathroom, like when my daughter was a baby, the men's bathroom don't even have a changing table. And I'm just like,
Exactly.
men can change diapers too. Like, come on
Exactly.
now. That's not a mother's job
Right.
only.
I'll never forget, my oldest son was a baby, and we went over to the WIC clinic, of course, which is,
Mm-hmm.
women, infants, and children. So technically I'm not even supposed to be there, I guess, because I'm a man. I'm not a woman. But anyway, so we're leaving out from getting his WIC vouchers, and I had to change his diaper. So I go into the bathroom. This is at Old Union Memorial. The bathroom, the stall is like this big. I'm sitting on the toilet changing my son's diaper because there was no changing table. So it's all of those sorts of things that we had to fight against. And I want to say shout out to Dante Palmer, who's leading Squat for Change. I don't know if you're familiar, but
No, tell us.
Squat for Change is an effort that he started to get changing tables in men's bathrooms everywhere, not just across the country, but around the world. So he's doing great things. So I just wanted to shout out to him for leading that charge. Because when I first saw that, it was a picture of him that went viral. He was actually squatting down. He wasn't sitting on the toilet himself. He was like squatting down in the bathroom and changing his son's diaper, and it went viral. And I was like, I can't believe this is still a thing. Like, I had to
Yeah, in
deal with this.
2021, men
Yeah,
don't have changing tables in the men's bathroom.
I had to deal with this in 2000. My son was a year old in 2000. I'm like, damn, 21 years later, this is still a thing. And he's
Wow.
still fighting, still leading the charge. So again, shout out to him. But I saw, it was one time when I took my children to the playground, and I saw what I assumed to be a young guy. I don't know, because we black. He could have been 50, but he looked like he was 18 or whatever.
Black don't crack.
Right?
You know.
You know. But he had a diaper. He was walking with a toddler, had their hand in his hand, and he had a diaper hanging out of his back pocket. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. And people need to see this. People need to know we are not unicorns out here, and we are not abnormal. We are not exceptions to the rule. We are the rule. And that's what I wanted people to know. So that was really what the group was all about. All of those things. It was a real culmination of all of those things. And I was just like, I got this platform here, and I got this opportunity, and I don't see anything else like it. And I really want fathers to represent for themselves. It's not even about me telling anybody's story. It's about us being able to do it for ourselves. If you did something with your child, you tell the world what you did. You show the world what you did. I don't. All I do is make the path right for you to be able to walk it. I'm not going to do it for you. But with that platform, it allowed us to have that where people could show the world when it was a public group. But now, I mean, we've done so much now that people know, the world knows, the world sees it for sure. Because we got people coming to us all the time for
I
different
bet.
different kinds of stuff. And it's crazy
Yeah.
because when I first started, I said, the mission was really to do what mainstream media refused to do, right? Which is represent us accurately. And I never really foresaw at the time, I never foresaw mainstream media coming to me and saying, we want to find people from the group for this. We want to do stories. We want to do this and that. It's still kind of trippy to this day that they really come to this group, but they know what it's about, and we represent, positivity as black men and people who are dedicated to their families, and we shoot down all the stereotypes and misconceptions and all this. I'm sorry, I could talk. I could.
No, this is good because I mean you going into stuff that I was going to ask about, like as far as like the Black Fatherhood Foundation. I was going to ask you just to share, like tell us a little bit about your work. I know that you all had like a couple of galas, maybe two, and I was traveling for one of them. The other one, I don't know how I missed, but I know I did donate. I
Yeah,
donated,
yeah,
and I purchased your your merchandise for my husband. So
yes,
I've
you
been
have.
very supportive. Yeah.
Avid supporter, and I appreciate it. So I will say it is actually officially the name is Black Fathers Foundation, but I wasn't
Okay.
going to trip on it. But just so
Yeah.
people
Black
know,
Fathers Foundation. No problem.
yes, just so
Thank
people
you.
know, you're
Just so
welcome.
people will know. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, we did have one gala. What happened? That was right before, and it's wild because stuff that happened right before COVID it seems like it was like so far, so long ago, but we did
Mhm.
get that gala together, and then shortly after, and we had a couple of other in-person events, and
Mhm.
then we were working to do some things. The last thing that we put together was a networking event called Happy Hours. Was to be a
Mhm.
series of networking events where we went up and down the East Coast to different cities, introduce
Mhm.
ourselves to the people in the cities and those who ran fatherhood organizations in those cities so
Mhm.
we could network,
Mhm.
right? But then we had the first one in Baltimore, and after that, they started talking about COVID and all of that, and
Yeah.
that really put a damper on everything at that point, as far as in
Mhm.
person and all of that. Oh, look at my
Mhm.
beautiful wife.
I know. I gotta show everybody. I just love how
Yes,
y'all are a team.
yes. We got to
Yeah,
get
this
back to
is
doing our.
amazing.
We got to get back to doing our show too. We used to do a IG live show together. Um, what did we even call it? Freestyle Fridays. We would do it. The
Uh
happy
huh.
hour. I'm a fan of happy hours. So we used to get on.
Yeah.
We used to get on, and we would have our drinks with us and ask people what you drinking and what you thinking. So that was our show, and it was
Right.
it was something because she really was not one who wanted to be in front of the camera, but
Mhm.
I think I kind of talked her into it. And
Mhm.
after that, you get enough practice at something, and you get used to it. Now our chemistry is really something else, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I love the work that you all do, and all about like the teamwork, making the dream work. Clearly, y'all
Yes.
doing that. Yeah. So did you guys have now? I know you all like have an international reach as far as like the group, but
Mhm.
the in person, like the pictures I saw where you guys went to like the Oreo games, that mainly happened locally where you got fathers and children together to go to a game. What
Yeah.
other kind of activities did you guys participate in, and do you have anything upcoming that you want to tell people about?
So we've done different. We put together brunches. We put together father daughter. It's been a while since we did the father daughter tea party, but that was one early on. So my whole thing when I first started out, even before Black Fathers, I would always invite fathers to for social gatherings, right? To get together for the community of it, the camaraderie and all of that sort of stuff. So we've done a bunch of different things. Like I said, the tea party. We've been to movies together and all of those sorts of things. We've done fishing events, kite flying, which you really don't necessarily think about black men doing kite flying, but we've
Oh,
had.
I have the cutest picture, and you might have seen it because I put it on Facebook. But so last year, as you know, it was COVID.
Mhm.
My family gets together every single year. My family gets together every single year on our family compound in Alabama. My
Mhm.
family still owns 100 acres of land in Selma, Alabama. Well, Beloit, Alabama, which is right outside of Selma. I say Selma because people will recognize
Yeah.
Selma because of the civil rights movement.
Yes.
But my family live out in the county, and we get together every Thanksgiving, like that's a tradition. And so last year it was canceled at the last minute because, of course, the news and what is it, the CDC and all these people
Hmm.
gonna get on the news at the last minute and tell people not to gather for Thanksgiving. So of course, all of the old people in my family was like, "Oh, we can't go." I was still down to go, like, man, it's this family, and I'm like, whatever. So I say all that to say Thanksgiving was canceled. My husband saw how heartbroken I was. I really was like mad because we had just spent the whole fucking year in the house, like
Mm.
not doing nothing because of and I was ready to go somewhere. I was ready to see my family.
Yeah.
So he surprised me and he booked us at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, the beach open? That's great. Yeah. And the weather was decent. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
Mhm.
super cold. And I'll tell you this story because he went and got our daughter Asada. He went and got her a kite. And that was actually the first experience I have ever had as a grown ass woman of flying a kite. And
Mm.
she had a ball. The wind was perfect, everything. But yeah, it was perfect. I captured some of the pictures and
Yeah, I
shared
love
them.
it. We actually did it. Well, first, I'm an educator. I've been in preschool and all of that. So I think that's really,
Yeah, I remember that. You and I've talked about that too.
yeah, I think that's where I first got it from. Like, we would make the kites for the kids and do all of that kind of stuff. So I think that's where I
Right.
got my appreciation for kite flying from. And then of course we've done the beach thing too. When we went to I think it was the Outer Banks. We went down like
That's
Cape
in
Hawk.
North Carolina, right?
Yeah, and we
Yeah,
went and bought the kite. So that was a lot of fun. So I love it. It's like really therapeutic to me. It's
absolutely.
similar to fishing. That's why I like both of them, because it's something you can just go out and just chill, but you can also be in the company of others, your family, and all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I've always been about, just really working to bring fathers together, and even children who don't have fathers. I wanted to
Right.
bring them together too, so they can be in the company of men and understand what it's about. So they may not have a model at home, but you can come out to these events and you can get these models, and you can reach out and touch people who are fathers, who are positive men, and have those people in your life, that you can really reach out to. So
100%.
yeah, as far as upcoming stuff, we don't have any events planned. My wife told me to put the kibosh on one thing I was trying to put together since we got down here, but she was like, "You need to chill, because I get all of these ideas and I'm ready to run, but I don't really plan stuff
That
out that
sounds like my
long."
husband. He
So
is the
yeah,
idea man. He got a
yes,
thousand ideas.
yes. I tell people I'm the visionary and she's the executionary. Like she,
Oh my God, that sounds like us.
yeah, I see it and she makes it happen.
That's right. That's right. Oh
Yes,
yeah, yeah. You got the perfect sister right
I
next to you
do. I
then. Yeah.
definitely do,
I
for
just love
sure.
y'all because y'all are,
Thank you.
first of all, next time I'm down there, I'm going to eat with y'all because y'all eat like how I eat. And I'm just like, you be posting all these pictures, your
Yes.
Instagram. I'm like, you know what? I'm yeah, we all going out like you, your wife, me and my husband, we and the kids probably. We all going out to eat because
Yeah, we
I
definitely
love
need
your
to.
taste in food. I'm just like,
Thank
oh
you.
my God.
Thank you. And some of the stuff the kids actually find, so they've developed
Yeah.
that taste too, because we've started relying on them. Like we went to, where were we when we went to Beach House? Oh, Pompano. We went to Pompano Beach, Florida, and my son, 16-year-old, he found this spot called, I think it's called Beach House, that we went to in Pompano. It was amazing. So
Amazing.
yeah,
See them
just
look. See the not. Let me tell you about me. When I go to new cities, don't take me to no damn chain restaurant I can get
right.
at home. I
Exactly.
want to go to a local restaurant and
Yes.
support a local mom and pop business because let me tell you, that food be so good. Usually,
Yes.
I've had a few bad experiences, but most of the time, them local restaurants like mom and pops, like
Yep.
man, yeah,
Yeah. So on that note, let me tell you. So two things. I always tell my wife, like my wife likes to. She wants to look and she wants to see all the stars on Yelp and all of this stuff. And I'm like, that's cool and all. But sometimes the holes in the wall, they be having the best food. They be like,
hey. Hey, listen, I'm trying to tell you, man, the hole in
yep,
the wall, the one you like, oh my goodness, they ain't
yes,
got this, they ain't got
yep,
that. That food,
yes,
listen,
yeah.
there
And the
was a matter
second,
of fact, there's a meme going around on Facebook, and it was like this, like broken down little place talking about some. If the place don't look like this, I ain't eating
um,
from it or
yeah,
something like that. You know how people are. I was like, and I felt that. I was
yes,
like, you know what? Because a lot of times, and especially like black-owned businesses, not that I'm saying that black-owned businesses don't look nice, because
right.
a lot of them do, especially in Atlanta. Oh my God, you
Oh
know what I mean?
yeah,
There's a lot of them that look really nice, and I've been to them. Matter of fact, Virgil's. I don't know if you've been there yet, but their food is pretty
not
good.
yet.
Yeah, it's really like in Atlanta. So yeah. Um, what was I about to say? Oh, so what I was saying was is like because I lived in Dayton, Ohio before I came here, and there
Hmm.
are a couple mom and pops there. Like the roof might not be all the way there. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like it might have a little leak. Some over here might not work that well, but the
hmm.
food
Flat.
is the bomb.
Yep. We went to this spot. I took Kelly didn't go with us. I took the kids some spot we found on a humble in Pennsylvania. And actually I did look online and people was like the food is good. So we went to the spot. It was this little hole in the wall and all the people working there looked like they were on meth. And
Oh my
but
goodness.
I promise you, the food was so good.
Bro, you foul. He said they all looked like they was on
They
milk.
really
Look, it's
did. Like
Pennsylvania. They probably are.
they probably are.
It's
Yeah, they
like
was missing
Ohio.
teeth and
Listen.
everything.
He said,
But the food was so good. But we went to Savannah. Now this I'm not saying there's a hole in the wall or nothing.
I've been to Savannah. Beautiful.
Shabazz seafood. My goodness. Next time you go to
Wow.
Savannah, you gotta stop
I'm gonna
there.
check it out.
Yeah.
Just because you told me.
The fish sandwich. Don't get the crab cake. Do not.
Oh yeah, the crab cake. Most crab cakes ain't gonna be on Maryland level. You know,
No.
we look.
No.
I'm a Marylander now, and I
No.
know like the crab cakes here are official.
Yes. This is the only place you should get them. The only place as a Baltimorean, I know, and I speak for all my fellow Baltimoreans, we don't get crab cakes outside the state of Maryland. The only place I get a crab cake outside of Maryland is MLK Deli, and they are official too. I don't know how they do it, but theirs is official too. That's in
Oh, you
DC.
talking about DC?
In DC, yes,
Yeah,
MLK Deli.
MLK Deli. I'm like, he said outside the state of Maryland. This
I
the
mean,
DMV.
technically, you know,
I know, but technically it's outside. You know, it's
yeah,
MLK. Like they get they crab meat from Maryland. It's
yeah.
DC.
But you still gotta know how to put it together, because some people
It's true.
they
It's
can have the
true.
same crab meat, but they put a bunch of bullshit in there and make it
Oh man, if
nasty.
they put a bunch of bullshit in there, yeah.
But
No.
I've been some places and it's not even crab cake. It's just a crab disc. It's like a hockey puck, and I don't even know. Like I
So
cannot fool
crazy.
with it.
You're a
So
little comedian, I
yeah,
see.
but shout out to Shabazz, man. I had a friend. We were in Seattle, and I told her not to do it, but she got a Maryland style crab cake, and she regretted it. And then she came to town. She actually came from Chicago for
Right.
when we had the gala. She came to Baltimore to attend the
I
gala.
hate I missed that gala. That mug looked
Yeah, it was
nice.
so nice. And so
I
she
know
had,
you ain't got to rub it in.
oh, I'm
Let
sorry.
me know when
It
you
was
have
perfect. We
another
had a
one,
horrible
and we
time.
coming. If you have another one, I'm
Yeah.
on the record. Period. We
We got to
coming.
put it together. 20, I mean, not 20. COVID really messed us up because we was ready to have another one right after with all that momentum that we had built up and everything. We was ready to have
Yeah.
another one, and that you would really have appreciated this one. But just
Yeah.
COVID just really threw us off with
Yeah,
that.
COVID threw off a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
brother. Yeah.
So we're
And I
gonna
know
get
that's
that one
probably why
right.
you guys haven't had any events like
Right.
everything, like everybody else. But look like the country is opening up. 2022, I think things
Yeah.
will really be, hopefully popping or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a pleasure having you, brother. I know I promised that I would not keep you very long because you are not feeling well and you are, not 100%. So I want to honor what I said that I would do. But you always have a place,
Yeah.
on this
I
program,
appreciate that.
and I definitely want to bring you back. Matter of fact, it would be great. You know, have it, because your wife is your co-conductor. I would love to
Yes.
have her join
Oh
us next
man.
time, and then
Yes.
I'll have Hashem join us as well, and we'll just have like a good conversation. You know what I mean, like a family conversation. Talk about fatherhood, motherhood.
Yeah.
We can talk about children, Black parenting, like just Black everything.
Oh
just in
yeah.
terms of our experience, because I think we need to talk about that more
Yep.
from a positive perspective and yeah, just like you said, be our own voice and not allow other people to define us.
Yep.
But I honor you really for taking it
Thank you.
upon yourself, for
Appreciate that.
saying, you know what, I'm not like succumbing to these negative stereotypes about Black men and Black fatherhood. I'm a dope ass dad, and I know that there's other dope ass dads out there. So I'm gonna create this community, and we're gonna come together and we're gonna powwow. I really appreciate, and shout out to Facebook, yo,
Yeah.
like for recognizing.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I
For,
see you got the blue check and
yeah.
everything. You got the blue
I
check. You
mean,
blue check on Facebook.
I know a guy. What can I say?
Yeah, I saw you met Mark Zuckerberg. There was
Yes.
actually you didn't even tell it. You got to tell us about that before we end.
So it was something. So I'll give the whole rundown. On a Monday, I got an email from someone at Facebook, and he asked me, did I want to come to Menlo Park?
Yeah, I've been
And
there before.
I was like,
That's in the Bay Area.
yeah, I was like, I wasn't 100% sure, so I had to Google it. But I was like, ain't that in California? What is he talking about? So I sent an email back. I said, you know, I'm in Baltimore, right? And Menlo Park is in California. It's not like I'm just catching the
Like
bus.
you could just drive. I mean, you
Right, or just
could, but it's
driving,
gonna take
right.
5 days, right?
Exactly. So he was like, nah, we're gonna fly you out.
I know you was like,
I said,
whoa.
yes. I said, you sure you got the right guy? Because at the time, and for so long, I've had imposter syndrome, right? I felt like I didn't understand, and I'm cool. Like we can go for a while. I'm good. I didn't understand really the power of what I had created. So for a long
Yes.
time, I was like, you know, I'm meeting these people. I'm on Steve Harvey. I'm doing this and that, and but they are.
How did I forget you was on Steve?
I don't know.
I didn't forgot. He was on Steve Harvey, babe. I forgot. Bruh, you just holding out.
Yeah,
Just finish
nah.
telling the story, man. Finish telling the story.
So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, I know people who have brick and mortar fatherhood organizations, and like, why aren't they being flown out to California? Why aren't they getting a shot?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't necessarily. I didn't feel like I deserved it, but I didn't turn it
Wow.
down. You know, I was like, shit,
I'm glad you didn't. I'm
a
glad
free
you were
flight.
smart. I
You
know
know,
your wife was probably in the background, like, yeah, you going to Menlo Park.
right? So I said, you sure you got the right guy? And he was like, yeah, we want you to come out. We have like all the engineers from who run Facebook groups. Normally they're spread out across the country, but this week they'll all be at the headquarters, and we want you to come and meet them. I was like, damn, little old me. So I said, all right. So then next thing I know, it was like Thursday. I was on a flight Thursday evening after work. I got off of work, went straight to the airport. Kelly took me to the airport, and I was on a flight to California. And so it's a whole story with that, a bunch of stuff that happened. But anyway,
Sure,
I
sure.
I get in there like 2 o'clock in the morning, California time or whatever. But so I get up the next day, and as far as I knew, I was just going to the headquarters, and I was going to go meet these people, whatever, whatever. And when I get there, the person who was my contact, who was showing me around and all that stuff, she says, oh, and by the way, at 3 o'clock you're gonna meet Mark and blah blah blah, like just real casual. And I'm like,
She's just real casual.
what you mean I'm gonna meet Mark? Well, nobody told me about this.
Wow.
I was not expecting that at all. So
Wow.
it was just real cool. I got to tour the headquarters, of course. I got to speak to the people, and I actually met someone who is now a great friend of mine, Lola Amalola, who runs a group. At the time, her group is Females In, and at the time when I met her, she had 1 million members in her group
Damn.
at that time. And so now I don't even know. I haven't kept up, but now I know it's well over 2 million. Um, and it's probably a whole bunch that are waiting to get in. So I was like
It's
floored.
called Females In.
Yeah, FIN Finn. It
Oh, okay.
it
Fan.
it
Oh.
was females in Nigeria, but
Oh.
I'm sure that she's since allowed. She told me that it's not just limited to Nigeria anymore, I believe. But it was all about. So I don't want to get the story wrong, but I know basically it's about women being able to share their stories, things that they go through, and all of that, and have resources similar
Amazing.
to what we did. So I think that's why they had us
Yeah.
out there at the same time. So
Amazing.
we got to talk to the engineers, and we got to give them input and feedback. And like, it's what was really amazing is when you suggest something to somebody who works there, and then you actually see it put into place. It's like, damn,
Wow.
my opinion really matters. This is something. This is powerful. Yeah. So we talked to them, had lunch and all of that stuff, and then they
And
brought
some of
me.
y'all actually got like a cash prizes too, right? Like,
Yeah, so this was separate. This was a few years later.
okay, there's a separate. Okay.
So what happened then? Um, they took me up, whatever, and sat down and waited. Actually, I went to the bathroom and I saw Zuckerberg in the bathroom. Actually, when I went, and I didn't
Wow.
say nothing because I don't talk to dudes in the bathroom. I don't care who you
You're
are.
so crazy.
So I
I
went
feel you.
I went and did my thing and came out the bathroom. And when I went on Steve Harvey, I saw Tank in the bathroom, and that was the same way. I'm like, nope, not saying nothing. I don't talk to dudes in the bathroom. Came out, whatever. So anyway, I sat down and then waited for Mark. So we, sat down and had the conversation. He asked me about the group and all that stuff. And in my head, I'm thinking like, dude, you own the company. You can see this group anytime. But anyway, he
It's
wanted to
so
look at it
funny.
on my phone and scroll through. So, I said, I'm never watching this phone again. Mark Zuckerberg touched my phone.
So crazy. Man.
Yeah, but it was cool though. It was really cool, and it was wow. It really blew my mind because I went to a Facebook event sometime later, and that day they were running a story about what they were launching in the USA Today, and in the USA Today they put the picture of me and Zuckerberg sitting
I
together.
saw.
Yeah,
Yes, I
that was
saw that.
that was
That mug went
surreal.
viral.
That
Yeah.
was surreal. That really was. So it was a great experience. And then everybody asked, of course, did he give you any money? And I'm like, nah. So fast forward to the FCLP program, I got accepted into that and got $50,000. So now all these people can shut up. He did give me some money, he gave me 50 grand. So
Right. Right.
yeah. But it
That's
was
dope.
it was cool.
But
And
but I hope that also set you up, like, because you got to network these things. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Like,
yes.
now you are a part of a community. You are a part of like a fellowship, and you getting access to that actually opens up more doors for you.
Oh yeah.
And so you got to run through them. I mean, I already know this, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No doubt about it. And that's why I jump on every media opportunity that comes my way. And I've always had that attitude that everything, like, first of all, I don't let nobody spin me around. I don't let nobody get me. I don't sell out for nobody or nothing. I don't do no shucking and
that's
jiving,
right.
no buck
That's
dancing.
right.
So you're not gonna portray me in any light other than the reality of who I am, right? And people try to do
Right.
that. They'll definitely, I'm sure people will try that. But I've
Mhm.
been I've been in positions where I have made sure that that didn't happen. So we've been getting media coverage around the group since 2013, and every opportunity I jump on because it allows the group to receive more exposure. It allows people to find out about the group who wouldn't have found out about it otherwise and join and reap the benefits of being in that group. So that's what it's all about for me. And now with the foundation, I have to take it even a step further. So all of these connections I've built, I have to leverage them and make them work in our favor so that we can do the
Mhm.
things that we want to do through the foundation to continue to help fathers and to help families. So that's what it's all about.
Have you been able to get, because I know there's a lot of support out there for women and girls, or Black women and girls. Have you been able to get support for the foundation, or other support for the foundation?
We have somewhat. We've gotten
Good.
T. Rowe Price is definitely a supporter. Shout
Oh
out
yeah,
to
they're
T. Rowe
Maryland.
Price.
That's a Maryland
Yeah,
base. Yeah.
definitely. Yep. And some others who have donated. And then for the most part, I try to encourage people who are members of the group to support.
Mhm.
So we've definitely gotten support internally within the group because the one thing I said is that we with all of these members, we have now 90,000 members. Like, we should be able to support ourselves. That way we never have to worry about anybody trying to pull out strings and make us dance to their beat and all of that. Like, it's not to say that I'm not taking money from the white man or whatever. I'm gonna take the money, but you're not gonna pull my strings and make me do stuff that I don't want to do. I'm not selling, my integrity is always gonna stand and come first. But
Right.
I feel like we should be able to. But as Black people, I was just watching the Willie T. Rib story, right? And he said he got Cosby gave him $350,000 to race in Indy, but he needed like at least 500,000. So they were going
Mm.
around to these companies and asking for money and all of that, and the companies weren't budging. And I'm like, how is it that Cosby is the only one? I know more Black folks than Bill Cosby had some money, but they wasn't putting up to help him. And I'm not going to sit here and denigrate my people, but we understand the reality. Sometimes it can really be like pulling teeth, getting us to understand that we need to come out of our pockets and support our own.
Listen. My husband and I do the nonprofit thing, and I know
Yeah,
it's tough.
it can definitely be tough, but I still stand on it, the fact that I want to encourage us to do that, because we can sit and complain all day about how people do us wrong, and what they want us to do if they give us some money and all of that. But if we
Right,
sustained ourselves, we wouldn't have to complain. Like, we'd be doing it for self, and that's where it should be. And then everything else is icing on top of the cake. Any other money they throw us is just icing, but it shouldn't be the foundation. I shouldn't have to rely on going outside to these people just to make ends meet and to be able to do stuff to support my own people.
right, right. Man, whew, that right there, like that last thing is a whole show. That's a whole show right there. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Um, this has been good. Anything
Yeah.
else you would like the viewers to know before we wrap?
Not that I could think of. I got
Do
a
you all have a link to donate on the website that we can share?
So what I will say, oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. So what
Mm-hmm.
I will say is that right now we're operating an emergency fund. So what happened? I'll give people the rundown, just real brief. We were fiscally sponsored by Strong City. They,
Oh, I heard about Strong
yeah,
City in Baltimore.
yeah.
Yikes.
So you already know we had to get away from them. So we're in the process of getting everything going with the Players Philanthropy Fund, but
Okay.
we don't have our bank account set up with them yet, so we can't put on the website a
It's
link to
all good.
donate. Right.
Yeah.
So what we have a PayPal, which I could share if I send it. I don't know.
Put
Um,
it in the private chat and I'll put it in the comments.
okay. All right. Cool. Because we have a PayPal. We've been operating that PayPal fund for a minute. And doing We've been operating that as an emergency fund for fathers in need and even mothers as well. We've donated for Thanksgiving. We gave out gift cards. Right before Christmas, we gave out gift cards, and some of them went to mothers, some went to fathers. We provided
Mhm.
food for a father who was unemployed at the time. We provided plane tickets for a guy who had to get his kids home back to his uh the child's mother, so he wouldn't violate the custody agreement. So all of those sorts of things we've been doing through this emergency fund.
Okay. Yeah, just put it in the private chat and I'll put it like in the comments so people can support. I'm sure
Got it.
there's fathers listening and mothers who want to support black parents, black fathers. This has
Definitely.
been good. It's a great conversation.
Yeah, pardon me. I'm just trying to type it
You
now.
good, you good. I see you typing it in there. It's all good. Mm. So, oh, I got it.
Got it. Okay.
Yep,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah. Another thing, we we've been doing. I don't think I mentioned this already, but our foundation conversation show. So, along with the IG stuff that we started doing the foundation conversations. We got into content heavy because that's been one of the things that has always been a part of our mission. But COVID kind of pushed us to it because we couldn't do the in person stuff. So
hmm
that's how we got doing. Me and Kelly started doing the show. I was doing one-on-one interviews called the Pop-Up Show. And then we started with our guys, Barry and Greg, who are part of the team. We started doing foundation conversations. And what that is, every month I pick a different theme or topic and
hmm
find guests who are all black fathers to discuss that topic. And we've been doing that since we started in
Where can
June.
people listen?
So it streams on in the Black Fathers group.
Oh,
It's
okay.
into the Black Fathers Foundation page.
hmm
So for people who aren't members of the group, or for
hmm
anybody really, the foundation page is open, so everybody can go there and watch it. And then it
The
also,
foundation page is open. Yes.
yes, so anybody can watch it on the Black Fathers Foundation page.
hmm
If you're a member of the group, you can see it in the group. Also, it goes to our Twitter, Black Fathers FDN, and our YouTube channel, Black Fathers TV.
Okay.
And that's every second Monday of the month. So we just had one recently for my brothers with daughters, and we always switch the guests up because, of course, they have to relate to the theme somehow. So the last one was for my brothers with daughters, and we had on.
Oh, I think I saw some clips of that one.
Yeah, we
Brothers with
had
daughters. Yeah.
some veteran girl dads on to talk about their experiences raising daughters, and we also had on a doctor who touts herself as the period doctor and talks to young girls and also parents about that whole experience and what to expect and giving them information and all of that sort of stuff. So it was
That's
really
important.
about,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It was really the idea of the show was really to give a lot of our members a better understanding, those who hadn't gone through the experience, because a lot of times we see in the group when a father first goes through it, like he freaks out, like, oh my God, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. So we wanted to really help prepare men and let them know it's not as bad as you think it is, right? And
Yeah.
even not even just the period part, but the whole puberty and growing up and all of that stuff is not as bad as you think it is. You don't have to have the shotgun to the boyfriends in the prom picture and all of that stuff, all of that. So that's what we really wanted to get. But again, all of that we do with the foundation, all of the media that we do is really about allowing men to tell their own stories. So we talk about all kinds of subjects. We had one about cannabis. We had people who were in the cannabis industry for in
Wow.
April, you know. So one is my homeboy Tucky Blunt, who owns Blunts and More out in Oakland, California. Shout out to
All
him.
right. All
Yeah,
right.
we had Dr. Rashawn Hodge, who's down here in the A, and it was just talking about being in the industry and being a father. So that's what it's all about. That balance, whatever field you're in, whatever the subject matter that we're talking about, it's always about that balance between dealing with that, being a father, and doing whatever else you do in life. So just really giving a complete view on who we are as men.
Love it.
Thank
Well, I did put that in the chat, so hopefully you get blessed by some of our listeners. But just
thank
as
you.
a reminder, everybody, if you enjoyed this conversation, please like the video. You can share it as well for others. And also consider subscribing. And Matt, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate your work. And definitely hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Text me, let me know if y'all need anything.
Definitely.
But definitely feel better, okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity, and shout out to the hometown. Always got to represent
All
no matter
right,
where I am.
Baltimore.
Yes, ma'am. You know it.
That's right. That's right. You always got to rep for the hometown.
Yes, a lot of love to my people. I'm going back in August. My son actually has to take his driving test to get his
Okay.
license, and he don't have anybody else to take him. So I'm flying to Baltimore to take my son to a test, and then flying back to Atlanta.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the joys of Black
It
fatherhood. Got to do what
is.
you
It
got to
really
do.
is. Yep. Shout out to Spirit for them cheap flights.
Oh, man. Hey, listen. I ain't doing Spirit, yo. I can't even do it. I don't care if it's a short trip.
Yeah,
I guess call me bougie, but Spirit, listen,
I hear you.
that's like you might as well take the Greyhound.
Right. I actually have never flown with them, so maybe I will pass. I don't know.
Bruh, listen, I know the tickets is cheap, but it's a reason for that, bruh.
Gotcha. Duly noted.
Listen, I'm bougie. I'm a Delta or American Airlines.
Yeah.
Maybe United. I don't really like United, but sometimes if I need like a direct flight somewhere and I gotta finagle it, I'm like, all right, I'll drive all the way down to Dulles. Because I usually do DCA. I actually fly out of Baltimore sometimes, but before COVID, because I'm a direct flight type chick. I don't like all these stopping and all that.
I don't either.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I used to fly to DCA most of the time, but because I couldn't get that many direct flights, because I live in Silver Spring, where I live in Silver Spring is all very close to the Howard County line. So I'm closer to BWI technically than I am to DCA. but I would always fly to DCA because I could get the most direct flights there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. A lot of the places hardly find a direct flight out of BWI. I mean, hardly anywhere. Yeah. So anyway, Flight Chronicles. Good luck on Spirit, my brother.
No, I think I'm gonna go with Delta. Delta was like maybe $60 more. I think I'm.
Oh yeah, yeah. If this is like $60 more, be comfortable. Yeah, no, seriously, be comfortable. Like I mean, you know, I don't know, like Delta. I just love them because it was just like top notch service. Like them cookies. Oh my God, I love them cookies. I got to tell you this quick story before we get off, man. Because I flew so much like before the pandemic because of my work. I have status with Delta and American.
Okay.
And so with Delta, I would get bumped up to first class a lot of time. So I was sitting in first class, you get everything with Delta. And I was landing, it was late too. And it was this it was a white guy, but he was so nice. The attendant, he was like, "You like them cookies?" Gave me a whole sleeve. He was like, "Here you go." He was like, "Go on and take that with you." I was like, "Okay."
Oh man, I like them
gave
cookies
me a
too.
whole sleeve. And you know the cookies for Delta, they actually say Delta on the cookies. Man, my kids slaughtered them cookies when I got home, man. I'm like, I can't even have nothing.
Oh man.
My kids slaughtered them cookies. I couldn't believe it. He gave me the whole sleeve. Everybody was looking like, he was like, "I got you. You can have a whole sleeve."
That's what's up. I love them cookies. Yeah, I'm definitely.
So that's why I rocked with Delta.
I'm getting on Delta. Yeah, the other thing that I'm noticing, like what people told me about, like I try to stay in Marriott hotels all the time because it's definitely benefits to being in those programs and sticking with them.
Man, it benefits you, man. Like when you have status, that's how they keep you coming back. Exactly. I have the Hilton American Express card and I have status with Hilton, but I had a bad experience. I'll say about that later. I had a bad experience when I was just in Atlanta. I'm never staying at that one. It was a Hampton in Lithia Springs. Okay. Oh Lord. I mean, Lithia Springs is nice, but that particular Hampton, I mean, I know that they was having like staffing issues, but just the customer service, even with the staffing issues, their customer service was trash. Trash. And I got on Twitter and I let them know too. Yeah. I'm like, y'all about to lose. I'm serious. I'm like, y'all about to lose a customer. And I'm gonna start booking Marriott. Like, cause I don't have the Marriott credit card, but I have like the Marriott like little whatever, like you become a member with them, the Bomb Boy. Yeah, I have that. But anyway, good night, brother. I appreciate you.
Good night. I appreciate you as well. This has been a lot of fun.
This has been a lot of fun. Take care, my brother.
All right, you too.